Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you guys something that I discovered by accident. So you remember in my previous video, and if you haven't seen that, I'll have that at the end of this video, or I'll also have it linked down below. So in my previous video, you've seen where I cut this out of the pattern paper, and what I decided to do is I wanted to turn them into a sticker, because what I did was with my little Zyron runner here, my daughter wanted me to take some of these little pieces that we cut out and turn them into stickers, so I ran them through. I was turning them into stickers. Well then, because these are too big for that, obviously, I thought, well, I'll pull out, hopefully I can get this in frame here, but my bigger Zyron runner that looks like this. But I have, which you have the big rolls and these smaller rolls like this. They're like 6 inches, I believe. These ones right here are the laminate plus permanent adhesive, okay? So I wasn't even thinking about the laminate part, but I thought, you know what, I'll run these through and I can turn them into a sticker for the front of my machine. As soon as I did, I remembered that this stuff was laminate, because I've done that before, and then you can't like peel that top piece off of the paper, or it'll just rip it. Okay, so what I decided, I thought, oh shoot, I ran it through and I thought, you know what, I'll just have to fussy cut around it, and you know that it'll just have to leave on this plastic layer here. All right, so I thought I'll just leave on that plastic layer and just fussy cut around it. And I thought, great, now I gotta cut around it. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if I could run this back through my machine and scan it just like before, and it would pick it up and read it, and then I could cut it out, because this would be basically like putting it on the vinyl setting. So I did that. I put it back on 2 and ran it back through. Now the thing about this is, because, hopefully I can find it. I don't know what I did with it. The backing on it, which I'll show you in just a minute because we're fixing to do it. But the backing on this is pretty slippery, so it's kind of hard to stick it to this mat. So what I did was I took my handy dandy frog tape. You could use washi tape, whatever you have on hand. But you want to use something that's not so sticky so you can peel it right back off your mat. So what I did was tape it down. You're going to see that here in just a minute. I ran it through. It read it like nothing. It was perfectly fine. And then, like I said, I had it on the vinyl settings. It perfectly cut through there without cutting through this piece. So it cut just like as if you were cutting vinyl. So I was able to peel it off like a sticker, which was awesome, because you could be able to sell these, which I know there's an issue with like selling Disney stuff, whatever, but any of your stuff, you could turn them into stickers like that and have the sheets. If you have a Zyron runner and you kind of wonder sometimes what to utilize it for, and they sell these at Hobby Lobby's, Michael's, Amazon, wherever, and I'll have it linked down below as well. But if you already have one, you're trying to figure out sometimes what to utilize them for. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to redo this exact same one so you can see it here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and cut this out one more time. I'm going to load it on here, get it cut out. Then we're going to run it through the Zyron, put it on there so you guys can see the whole process. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this loaded on the mat. Okay, so I've got it loaded on my mat. We're going to cut out the exact same thing. We're going to hit direct cut to the machine. We've got it on black and white. I'm going to leave it on that. All right, I'm going to hit start. Okay, so now we can see it just like that. We're going to hit OK. You can see that it's perfectly around my Minnie Mickey Mouse. It's got the letters, but this time we're going to take those away. So we're going to hit OK. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this piece here to get rid of those. I'm going to do several and just get all those clicked. There may be one more here on the end. There we go. Hit OK. I'm going to hit delete. There we go. So now I just have the Minnie and Mickey Mouse, and I'm going to hit OK and cut. So I'm going to, it says 1 minute. I'm going to hit start. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit OK, and we're going to unload this. All right, so once again, we're just going to, oh, you know what? I forgot to change the settings. Okay, now let's go ahead and unload it. So you guys can see that I completely unloaded that and reloaded. So let's see how well it cut. So it's still cut right on the line. So if you accidentally mess up and you eject this, because I should have just left it there and changed that, because I mean, I didn't know when I was trying to pull it, you can still load it back in and it's still going to cut exactly where it needs to. So that's awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do, once again, just kind of pull this and you can see how nice that tail is. Now that tail would have been a little more precise like it was yesterday if I wouldn't have messed that up, I'm sure. But you can see the tiny little tail there, super cute. So you can see how nicely those cut out. All right, so let's say okay, and we're gonna go back home. Okay, so what we need to do now is I'm gonna push this forward for just a second. So I wanna be able to bring my Zyron in here so you guys can see this. All right, so I'm gonna bring this up here. Hopefully you guys can see this pretty good. And I should be able to kind of pull that around. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one at a time, making sure their little tails are straight. I'm going to go ahead and get that in there and start turning my little dial. All right, make sure that's kind of going to take itself up this way. Okay, once it gets far enough, I'm going to go ahead and get my second one in here. Now you could do even bigger stuff if you've got the really, because I've got the ones that are as long as this thing here. So you could even do bigger stuff if you wanted to. All right, so that way you could put these on your laptop or whatever you want to do. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down and get that cut. All right, so just like that. So now I have my mini Mickey Mouse, okay? So this is what happened yesterday. So once I put it through here, you can see now that's like a laminate top. That's not going to like separate itself. It would tear up my paper. So I was sitting here, I was like, oh, I'll just cut them out. But then I thought, okay, we'll put it through the machine. So that is what I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead, just take some sort of little, you know, tool that you have on hand to kind of rub these down. Really get that adhesive where it needs to be. All right. You could just use an old credit card or something like that, gift card. Okay, so now I have this. So this side is really kind of too slick to stick on the mat. I'll show you now. So if you try to stick this guy on the mat, it just don't want to stick. So you guys can kind of see it just doesn't want to stick on there. Okay, so what I did was I just found a spot. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this. So I just found a spot that I wanted to stick this on. All right, let me kind of bring it like this so you guys can see. All right, hopefully you guys can see all this. Okay, I know my recording's a mess. So I'm just going to find a spot where I want to stick it. I'm going to take my tape. Normally you would have this laying down and it wouldn't be this much work, you know. But this is what you got to do. Okay, so I'm going to just take a few pieces of tape here. And so I'm going to go ahead and just take this tape here and run it across like that. So now that's kind of holding for me there. I'll go ahead and get my next piece out. All right, so now that I've got that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a piece down here. You're going to make sure it's as smooth as possible. All right, so now I'm going to get my next pieces here. So maybe you guys can see it if I put it like this. All right. So I'm going to take my tape and go ahead and get this side down. Like I said, just kind of try to make sure that's flat. And it's pretty cool because you could take an entire sheet. It would be better with the thinner the paper, the better. Because this is more like cardstock. But if you had some really thin designer paper, you could create your own vinyl. So you could do these on the bigger pieces through your Zyron and create your very own custom vinyl. And then go back and cut some designs out of it. Okay, so now that we've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load it in the machine. I'm going to put this back on too, like a vinyl. All right, get it on that too. Just like that. Drop it back in. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit scan, direct cut, this one. And I think I left it on black and white, so I'm going to try that and I'm going to load it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. Okay, now you can see that it picked it up. I was kind of concerned yesterday. Hopefully you guys will kind of see this, but you can see like these gray spots here, and I thought, oh, I don't know about that. but it was perfectly fine, was not a problem. I think it's just kind of the bubbles in the plastic here worked out fine. So you hit okay, and you can see that it's going to pick it up. Now it's not going to pick up the mini today. This is my life. So let me try it in color. Let's back it up. I'm going to go back. Okay. So I'm going to hit direct cut. I'm going to hit the machine. I'm going to go to color, hit okay. And now I'm going to load it again. Okay, let's go ahead and hit okay. I should have brought that sizing down a little bit. So actually, let me hit cancel. Let me bring this in just a little bit. Like so. Just like that. All right, we hit okay. All right, that didn't work, so we got to stick with black and white. Let me go ahead and eject this. So since I'm having so much problems with Minnie, let's just go ahead and do Mickey so I can show you it, and I'm not too sure. It has to be the glare, something's going on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit scan, direct cut to the machine, black and white, load. I've already got my blade on 2 for the final settings. We're going to hit start. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And you can see it's perfectly around my Mickey. So what I'm going to do is hit OK. I can probably bring this down up here just a little bit. Like so. Alright, so something like that. I'm going to go ahead and hit preview. And we're going to hit OK. And you can see where it's got my Mickey ready to go. So I'm going to hit cut and start. Alright, that was pretty quick, so I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to unload it. Alright, so now all you have to do is sit here and pull off all your tape. I really wish that Mini would have worked so I could have showed you guys. We'll have to do, I'll do some more videos on it to show you guys. But there has to be, probably the fact that I should have had it more flat, my Zyron runner when I had it coming out so it didn't have a bubble in it. And I tried to use my little scraper tool like crazy, but anyways. So all you got to do is you can see that it did not cut through the back. All you got to do is find your spot and get your spot going here. Just like that. And you can see that it's just one big sticker. So you got to be a little bit careful. Now I could probably change that settings to maybe 2 1/4, something like that, 2 1/2 to do a little bit better. But I mean, it's not, hopefully you guys could see this the whole time. It's not, it's just a really strong adhesive. So, I mean, you can see the cut lines are really good. Hopefully you can see that. It's just pulling it off and trying to be careful so you don't rip anything because of that adhesive. So, especially when you get around this tail, try to be nice and easy. I figured that out last night, which I have to tell off. It's not meant to be to show you guys this video, but I'm going to post it anyway, just so you guys can see that it does work. You're just going to want to be really careful, really slow. But you can see it's like it laminated him, and now he's just one ginormous sticker to stick on something. So I just thought it was really cool, but especially for a teacher to put on the desks, if you're going to be teaching something, to put all these on something and have them stuck there like this, and you can pull them off later. I think is really awesome. Or like I said, decorating your machine and just popping these on to get my mini cut out so that way I can stick these together somewhere. So what I'm going to do is carefully just kind of set him back down here so that way he can stay safe until I'm ready to utilize the little fella. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that it's pretty cool that you can turn this basically into like vinyl. So I think it'd be cool to run a whole sheet of like pattern paper, like the regular paper, like scrapbook paper, and create your own vinyl, and then you can cut shapes and stuff out of that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't have to scan it through the way that we're doing now. You would just load it in just like you would for vinyl and have it cut out whatever you want into, words, font, you know, stuff like that. But I just think it's a pretty cool concept. So I know this video was a little bit of a mess. I wished I would have just recorded when I did it last night, but it was more of an accident. I was just testing the theory. But for some reason, this little lady, and like I said, I think it's the glare going on inside the machine. So there's pieces here that's like not really bubbled down. And so it's kind of weird that it's wanting to pick it up like that today. But no big deal. But I'll probably try to load her a few more times and kind of see if I can't figure out what's going on. But either way, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.